Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are here, you're probably looking to crack coding interviews or just want to get better at solving algorithmic problems. Today, we are starting something special, a complete lead code series where I will talk you through the most important problems step by step. And we are kicking off with the absolute classic, the two-sum problem. Here it is. It is literally the first problem on LeetCode. And for good reason, it teaches you fundamental concepts you will use in hundreds of other problems. By the end of this video, you will not only solve two-sum problem in multiple ways, but you will also understand time complexity, space complexity, and why certain approaches are better than others. Grab your coffee and let's dive in. Before we jump into the problem, let me quickly explain what the series is about, and I'm going to be teaching you the most important lead code problems in a structured way. Each video will cover the problem statement and what it is really asking. And we will also discuss about time and space complexity analysis of the problem. I will be using my custom teaching platform that you can see on my screen, which makes it super easy to follow along. Everything is color coded. So here the code, and it is well organized and designed to help you learn faster. If you find this helpful, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any problems in this series. Your support is really helps me to create more content like this. Now, before we solve our first problem, let me quickly show you the LeetCode interface if you are new to it. Take new tab. After signing up, verify your email. This is important because LeetCode will send you daily challenges and important updates. So once you are logged in, let's explore the interface. This is our dashboard. The most important tab is problems. Click on it. This is where all the magic happens. Here you can see all the problems. Notice these important features like search. So we can search the problems by using this search word. Here we have filter out by using difficulty level. So here in this problem we have three kinds of difficulty levels that are easy, medium, and hard. You can also filter out by using companies. So all the problems are same. So when we all topics, then it will show every problem. It has over 3601 problems are present. So this is problem number one, and the number is unique. We can also filter out by using topic names. Here we have array, string, hash table, dynamic programming, and many things. And if you want only algorithms, database, or shell, so we can go with that. But in this series, we will start from 1 and by serial number, we will complete each problem. And here two-sum problem is present. It is marked with easy. That means which is perfect for beginners. When you click on it, it will opens the problem. Here we have problem description. This tells you what exactly you need to do. And here we have examples. These show you the input and expected output. So here we have input and this is our expected output and this explanation. This is a very basic example. Here we have constraints. These tell you the limits of your input is, or these are nothing but the conditions that applied on the input. And this is code editor. I will expand this. And this is code editor. Here we have test cases. When we write the code and we have to run, and if the all test cases are passed, then we can submit. This is the flow that we can do the multiple problems. Okay. And finally, this LeetCode supports multiple languages. Here you can see, but today we will focus on only Python because it is clean and easy to understand. That is Python 3. Alright, let me read the problem statement. Given an array of integers nums and an integer target, return indices of two numbers such that they add up to the target. you may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use same solution twice. You can return the answer in any order. Let me break down this with a simple example. We have an array 2, 7, 11, 15. Our target is 9. We need to find two numbers in this array that add up to 9. We know by looking at this small array, we can get 2 plus 7 is equal to 9, right? So these two elements satisfies the condition. Then we have to return the indices of the elements. So that is the indices starts from 0 and 0, 1, 2, 3, and the and the position of the 2 is 0, the position of the 7 is 1. So this is the simple example. This might seem simple, but there are lots of you can learn from these approaches to solve it. Before we code, let's understand some fundamental concepts that will help us throughout this series. Let me switch into my teaching platform. Let's see the example in this image. We have an array which contains 2, 7, 11, 15, and the target sum is 9. So how can you do this without seeing at the code? You have a clear understanding. So how to solve this mathematically? There is two approaches to solve this. So I will explain you. So which is the best approach and which is not. Okay. And the first approach, we are considering all pairs, all possibilities. We are taking first element, that is 2, and we are checking with all other elements. So while adding, it satisfies a given condition, then we will return the indices. Okay. So taking every pair is easy to understand, right? So this is one of the solution. And there is another solution. It is like, so we are taking number 2 and we have to get the complement. That means target sum minus the number. That is 7. We are coming from left to right. So here we are taking 2 and 9 minus 2 is 7. Is there anything 7 in the left side? No, I don't have any because it is the first element. So I don't have any elements. So if I'm minusing to this 7, I don't have anything. Okay. So take this in a hash map. Okay. I already visited this node. Just took this in a hash map and next go to another element, next element, that is 7, and the target sum minus 7 is 2. So we have to check in the existing scene hash map whether we have 2 or not. Yes, I have. So this pair is valid, so we can directly return the 0 and 1. So this is very simple example. I have only 4 elements in this array. If I have 10,000, by the second approach, which is a very feasible solution, but the first approach is not, because we are considering the first element and we are comparing with other all the elements, and if it is not satisfies the condition, we are taking the next element, and that is the second index, and we are comparing it with all other upcoming elements. So that is not a feasible solution, right? We require more time to perform that. Okay. By using single one loop, using second approach, so that is the best. Before going to write any code, you must have a very clearance about what you are doing. Then only you can write the code efficiently. Got it? Yeah. Yeah. Next we are going to discuss about what is time complexity. While we are writing any code, performance is matter. So simple words, in the simple words you can read and these all things, but in the simple words, time complexity is nothing but how much time it taken to execute your code. It is also considering how many loops you have, how much time it taken. So that all will consider. Okay. So we already discussed two approaches. So the second one approach is very best. So which having we are looping only once, right? So that the thing makes our time complexity less comparing with the first one, right? And it is indicating with big O notation. Here we have big O notation, and Here are some common values. Of1 is constant value irrespective of input size, how much input size it is. That means if you have 10,000 1 lakh input size, it doesn't matter, it will execute at the constant time itself. Got it? So basically these are the things. Okay, you can just read it. What is space complexity? Space complexity is nothing but how much extra space does your program required. If you don't know about brute force algorithm, here is the definition and you can read it out. And our first approach is brute force algorithm. We are checking each one, each pair we are checking. So that is brute force algorithm. So these are the definitions of time complexity, what is time complexity, and space complexity, and what is brute force algorithm. So these are the keywords. So while we are doing do some problem, we must know about these things. And here we can do this by using brute force algorithm. You already know about what is brute force algorithm. Yeah. So directly I will explain the time complexity and the space complexity is O of n square because it has two loops and the space complexity is same. It is not taking any extra space. Okay. This here is the implementation. So in the lead code problem, they already give the function, give as the do some function. Just we have to write this part. So I will explain you this part. Yeah. So here we have list, right? Nums is the list, and here we have a target. We are passing to this function as the parameters, right? So it is returning list of integers. That is fine. Okay. So we are looping I in the nums. So we are looping entire list. Okay, that is nums. We are looping nums with the indices. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many indices it has, that comes under to I value. Okay. And in the nested loop, so it contains nested loop. So we already discussed about the first approach, right? So this loop will do I plus 1, that means next element of the selected thing. So we are checking. So when we are adding two numbers, we have to get the target value, right? So in the I value, that means we are selected number. Okay, so the selected number and the next element of the selected element. So if any match is present, then we are directly returning the sum. Okay, and now we are going to second method, that is optimized approach using HashMap. Okay, this is much faster using a dictionary to store numbers we have seen. So dictionary, or we can use HashMap, okay, which contains key value pairs, right? So here we have time complexity is of n, so which is very good. It will linearly increase as the time. Okay, and the space complexity is of n because we are storing data in the hash map, right? So good enough up to now. Good. And here we can see this is not taking any space, extra space, but it is taking some extra space, but the time is a key. Okay, loop through the least ones. So we have to loop. Here we have enumerate, right? So we have to loop, and for each number calculate the complement, that is target minus number. Yeah, here we have complement. If the complement exists in the map, if any matches is present, so we are returning that thing. Okay, understanding type hints. Type hints is nothing but we are importing this list, right? This list is important to import, so then only we can write this list of hint and many things. Okay, and explanation of a hash map logic. If by using some theoretically, let's say target is 9 and nums is 2, 7, 11, 15, and in the first step we are taking I is equal to 0. We have the loop and number is 2, right? We are enumerating, right? Here we are enumerating. Okay, so in the I value we get the index, the position, and in the num its value. Okay, and here we have complement is 7 because 9 minus 2 is 7. That is not in the map, that means hash map it doesn't contains. So we are storing like this. 2, its value is 0. 0 means its index. Okay, and in the step 2 the increment I will increment, right? So that is 7. The second element is 7, right? And its complement is 2, because 9 minus 2 9 minus 7 is 2, and 2 is in the map, so directly you can return it. So that is a simple logic. and and if you are doing this in any, if you want to do this same problem in any code editor or in your custom file, you can follow this thing. Okay, up to here the map and the function is same. So this is nothing but we are taking nums and we are taking target, and the result will be 2 sum. So we are just calling this. Okay, so this thing from 12, right? So the input handling and everything is directly handled by the lead code, so we don't worry about this. Just we have to focus on the function. Okay, so let's write the code. And here is the things: time and space complexity table, and here we have space complexity, time complexity, how much it time taken to execute, and how much space it taken to execute, and why. Okay, so in the first solution we have 2 loops, and second thing we have only 1 loop, and each number stored once for instant lookup. Okay, so very easy. So let's write the code. uh, at the first we can write the brute force algorithm, then we will write the optimizer solution, no problem at all. Okay, yeah. So here we have self, so we don't use anything at here. Nums is a list and the target is the number. Okay, for I in range of length len of nums. So len is a function, it returns length of the list. Okay, and for j in range of I plus 1 and len num nums, right? Yeah, if nums of I plus nums of is equal to target, return a and j. Okay, so let's run the code. If we get any errors, so we can directly solve others. Yeah, cannot assign to expression here. Exactly, we have to use 2 equals at here. Good. Yeah, so here our first case is accepted and our second case is also accepted, so all the test cases are accepted. Okay, so let's submit this solution. Yeah, this is not a good solution. Okay, but our 63 by 63 test cases are passed. Okay, which is good. Okay, so we will do second method also. We can do second method and submit it. Okay, so we have to use I. We have to write I and its volume, enumerate of nums. We have to take a hash map, that is num map is equal to some empty thing, and we have to find out the complement, right? Complement is equal to, we already discussed, target minus num. Okay, so if complement in num map, then return an array, that is num of complement, and here I means the index of the current volume. The complement is not having in the num map, so we have to store the num map, right? Yeah, so num map we have to store as num and I. That's it. So let's run the code again. So we got an error that is enumerate. There is a spelling mistake. Yeah, run it again. So here we have type error, that is integer object is not subscribable. So we have to take num map, right here, num map. Okay, so doing these errors is very important. Okay, then only you can correct your code, that will improve your skill. Okay, yeah, so our solution is good enough. So let's submit it again. Yeah, you can see that is taking only 0 ms milliseconds, so which is very good, and this code is very efficient for long inputs and all. Yeah, this is the thing. And we can see in our submissions tab, we are submitted two things, and you can see runtime and memory consume, right? And one more thing, if this video helped you to understand the two sum problem better, please give it a thumbs up. It is really helps me. The YouTube algorithm shows this content to many other aspiring developers who might benefit from it. Also, I'm building a community of developers who are serious about improving their problem solving skills. So we have community on Telegram and Instagram. So where you can speak questions, share your solutions, and connect with other learners. Alright, I will really see you next time. Thank you. Thank you so much.